Okay, welcome replay viewers, and good morning everybody. And we're here again at the Long Island Railroad Speonk station for day 2 of the new South Fork commuter connection service, SFCC. And this is the first train of the morning which heads eastbound to Amagansett. Thank you for joining. This will be Shuttle Train 2724. It leaves at 6:16 a.m. Good morning to you, John. This morning we have 2 customers traveling out on the early morning train to Bridgehampton and then on to Sag Harbor. Let me show you what this is all about again. This is the new East End service that they started yesterday, the 4th. It's called South Fork Commuter Connection. We're running shuttle trains between here and Montauk, although this first train goes as far east as Amagansett. And it's supplementing the really sparse weekday service that the Long Island Railroad nominally runs on weekdays here. And the whole idea of this service is to help alleviate the traffic conditions on the one main highway running through the South Fork. That's New York State Route 27, known as Sunrise Highway and Montauk Highway. This train should have one locomotive today, an EMD DE30 AC locomotive with a Kawasaki bi-level passenger car, which will be a cab car. And by that I mean there's a cab on the west end of the car that the engineer rides in and to operate the train when it's operating in this direction. So there were second day of the operation, and again this is the first train of the morning heading east. This train will make stops at West Hampton, Hampton Bays, Southampton, Bridgehampton, East Hampton, and Amagansett. It will then reverse course and make a westbound trip from Amagansett to Hampton Bays. And there are 6 trips per day of this new South Fork commuter connection service, 3 round trips. Hopefully in time it's going to become a very popular way to travel again, and we'll get more and more cars off the highways. I'll just walk around a little bit and show you where we are. This is the Long Island Railroad station at Speonk in eastern Suffolk County. We're about 72 miles east of New York City, Midtown Manhattan, Penn Station, on the south shore of Suffolk County, Long Island, New York. And we will see about how this service builds up over time. Again, yesterday was the very first day of this new South Fork commuter connection operation of the railroad, funded by New York State. And I should tell you, also add in here a few other facts and figures. The one-way fare is $4.25. And that includes the railroad fare plus what they call the last mile shuttle service. In other words, at each of the East End stations east of Shinnecock Canal, there'll be a mini bus or regular bus or taxis or whatever that will take people from the railroad station to their places of employment. So you purchase a two-part ticket here. You give the conductor the ticket on the train, and he takes the train part of the ticket, and you save the second half of the ticket to give to the last mile shuttle driver when you get off the train and take advantage of the shuttle bus service at these local stations to the east of us. So $4.25 one way, or $8.50 obviously round trip per day, which is pretty darn reasonable price to pay when you think of what it costs as far as traveling, the aggravation of driving. Perhaps not so much this time of year, but as we get into the springtime and the summer, then State Route 27 becomes so crowded. All right, I just see the headlights of the shuttle train in the Speonk yard being turned on. So they will head over this way now to the platform. The train will be operated by the engineer in the control cab of the C3 cab car. He'll pull into the Speonk station here, and then the engineer will walk up to the east end of the train, the diesel locomotive, and he will operate the train from the cab of the DE30 AC locomotive heading back toward Amagansett, toward the east end. And what will be interesting here today, and why I'm here early this morning, I missed yesterday because of the snowstorm, but this train is due to leave Speonk at 6:16 a.m. And then right on its heels at 6:21 a.m. is the dual mode train from Speonk to Penn Station, the regular 621 commuter train, which operates as a diesel train out here in diesel territory and then switches to third rail electric power to run through the East River tunnels to Penn Station. So that's a regular Monday to Friday commuter train, and should not be a problem of coordinating the departures of these two trains. Here the signals are controlled, the signals and the switches are controlled from the signal tower in Babylon, the control tower at the Babylon station. It stops at Montauk. It runs, diesel territory on the South Shore is between Babylon to the west of me, an hour west of me, all the way out to Montauk. So here comes our shuttle train for the day out of the yard. The gates are going down now on North Phillips Avenue crossing. Again, this is shuttle train 2724, and this will run from Speonk to Amagansett. This is the second day of this brand new South Fork commuter connection. A loud horn, eh? He's got his okay, 5007 is the cab car. So this is the same equipment that they used yesterday. 16 after the hour. This is the shuttle train to the East End.
Shuttle train East
This
End?
train is going back to Amagansett.
Oh, it's not going...
No, you're going to New York?
Yeah.
That'll be at 6:21 to the west.
Appreciate it.
So here's your train, folks.
My train. It's very exciting.
And we have 2 people traveling on the shuttle this
actually,
morning.
only
Oh,
one.
one person?
Just for your
Okay. Very good. Well, good luck. Let's hope
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
hope you get some traveling companions in the weeks to come.
They'll be getting on, I think, at later stops.
All right, this is a Kawasaki C3 bi-level passenger car. You can see this is the vestibule area, and there are steps that go to the upper level and the lower level, and there are also seats here in the forward and rear vestibules. So one car, and this is also a cab car. So this train has a engineer control cab at the west end of it. You see some of the seats upstairs, and our passenger who's going today is sitting down on the lower level. She just moved down to the lower level.
No, the machines aren't working. Video on that.
Oh, I'm not with the railroad, but they were using the other one. Oh no. The Long Island Railroad does not offer Wi-Fi service at the current time in some of the stations. Okay, Patrick, if you're watching this, we have 1 passenger today. No, not this train. This train is heading to Amagansett. Patrick, 1 passenger today heading east on 2724 from Speonk. This train will leave at 6:16. He doesn't have clearance to leave yet because both signals are red. We'll stay out of the way here and we'll look at this. Let's just walk to the rear of the train, the shuttle train, cab car 5007. Here's our conductor and our assistant conductor back here. So here again is a vestibule area of the car, and you see the steps go to the upper level and the lower level, and then there is seating in the vestibule area, although it looks like the crew is using that for a work area. This is cab car 5007, built by Kawasaki in the 1990s. Again, this is South Fork Commuter Connection Shuttle Train 2724 here at Speonk. It'll make a run to Amagansett this morning. It'll make stops at West Hampton, Hampton Bays, and then it'll cross over the Shinnecock Canal, and it'll make stops at Southampton, Bridgehampton, East Hampton, Amagansett today. Later train runs all the way to Montauk. So So now we're having folks arrive for the regular commuter train to New York City at 6:21. All right, the gates are going down. How about that? Similar cars. All right, the gates at the North Phillips Avenue are down, and the signal is now for caution, for slow speed through the yard. So this train will be pulling out momentarily, and then we'll see the westbound train come in from the yard, the train that goes to New York City. And I see we have our share of Periscope bots this morning, so we'll ignore them. All right, here we go. The second day of the South Fork Commuter Connection Train 2724. Very good. Yeah, there's a bot there. This is the sad part of Periscope, but we ignore them. It's a little easier for me to do a live broadcast using Periscope than it is YouTube Live. But what I will do later on when I get home is I will edit this video, and I'll also post it on my YouTube channel. And the channel name is JKR SpecNet, all one word, JKR SPECNET. That is my YouTube channel designation. So in a few hours, look for this live broadcast to be an archive video on my YouTube channel if you're interested in following me on YouTube. All right, so that was the 6:16 train to Amagansett this morning of this brand new South Fork Commuter Connection shuttle service. One engine, one car. Hopefully, as time goes on, more and more people will start to utilize this service. As we saw this morning, there was only one passenger on here, and the young woman told me that she's traveling to Sag Harbor. So she obviously works in Sag Harbor, and what that means for her is the train will take her to Bridgehampton. She'll get off at the Bridgehampton station, and then the last mile shuttle will take her up the road out there to the village of Sag Harbor, which is north of Bridgehampton. All right, I'm looking into the Speonk yard here, and what we'll see next will be regular commuter train 2737, the 621 train from Speonk to Penn Station. And this will normally operate as an 8-car C3 set with 2 DE30 AC locomotives. In other words, dual modes. Diesel power, and then in the city they run on third rail electric power. Let me check my time here. 6:20. So he may be a minute or two late today. But the dwell time here at the platform is not that long. Let me just spin around and show you what's happening now. See, we have a dozen or so regular commuters heading west on this train to New York City. This train will make stops at Mastic Shirley,
on weekdays through
Bellport,
Friday, May 17th, buses will replace 2 eastbound and 2 westbound trains between Babylon and Speonk, Monday to Friday, from 8:45 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. due to state of good repair rail tie replacement work.
All right.
For details, see the Montauk branch timetable dated March 4th, or visit www.mta.info/LIRR.
All right, thank you for that information about the midday track work that's being done between Babylon and Patchogue. Let me think about this. One way peak fare, it's about $24, $25, something like that. I'm guessing right now because, well, I'm basing it upon my fare that I pay on off-peak hours of a senior citizen, which is about $11.75. So it's probably about double that. Let's say it's about $24 in round numbers. But most people buy a monthly commutation ticket. So from this area, zone 12, it would be, I don't know, 400 and something a month. Oh, much cheaper than driving. And just the lack of aggravation. It's a 2-hour train trip nominally from here in Speonk to Penn Station. This train is scheduled to depart at 6:21 and arrive at Penn Station at 8:24. And as I started to say earlier, from Speonk, the next stop to the west of us is, good morning, Mastic Shirley. Is being held. Means we have an equipment problem. They just made an announcement that the train is being held. Means we may have equipment problems this morning on this cold morning. Well, if it were running normally, the train would run Mastic Shirley, Bellport, Patchogue, Sayville, Oakdale, Great River, Islip, Bayshore, and Babylon. And then it would run express from Babylon to Jamaica. And then from Jamaica it makes a stop at Kew Gardens. And then on to Penn Station, New York City and Manhattan. So that's about a 2-hour trip. It's what we refer to as a one-seat ride, in that you don't have to change over to an electric train at Jamaica from the diesel branch. You stay on this train, and when it's operating properly, it switches over from diesel power to electric power to go through the East River tunnels. So some type of equipment problem, most likely this morning, is delaying this train. I understand yesterday morning it departed 3 minutes late. And directly to the east of us we have the sun coming up through the trees. I'm looking to the east-southeast here toward Montauk. All right, here comes the train. He's moving now. They may have had a door problem or what. It's hard to say what the difficulty was. But the train is now leaving the Speonk yard. And here go the gates down at the North Phillips Avenue crossing. So, some horn, eh, folks? This is beautiful. 502, DM30 AC 502. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 Kawasaki C3 bi-level passenger cars today. And then the rear engine is 515. DE30 AC 515. All right, so he's running about 5 minutes late today. I honestly don't know what to tell you, folks. I've never seen this happen here in all my years of following trains and traveling on trains. They're essentially rocking this train back and forth a few feet. All right, see, now the engineer is pulling it forward. They're supposed to open the doors. Sorry for that. That was a tragedy on my part. All right, there's a couple of dozen people getting on board here. It's leaving Speonk at 6:29. So he's 8 minutes late today. All right, thanks for all the hearts, everybody. Sorry I had that little accident there. My iPhone fell out of my cold hands, my fingers. I actually dropped it on the ground here. I hope it's in good shape. All right, that's the end of this broadcast, and as I say, I'm going to edit this at home and upload this to my YouTube channel, JKR SpecNet. Well, thanks very much, and you have a good day, and I appreciate you sharing this, enjoying this view here. So take